Well, hey, welcome back. It is Heart Month and it's National Wear Red Day. That's why we're all here dressed up in our fabulous color. A time to raise awareness about cardiovascular disease in women. To help us understand the importance here, we have some special guests, Circle of Red co-chairs, Jillayne Tompkins and Tina Winham. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And so people might hear, go red. Why are they wearing red? What is the story behind why we're doing this? And what are we raising awareness for today?
So Go Red for Women is the American Heart Association's effort. It's dedicated to saving women's lives. And so when we wear red, it's a visual cue for everybody that is advocating on behalf of the American Heart Association. So today is an important day. The whole month is, but today is an important day to wear red.
I love that. And you know someone, whether you know it or not, you know someone who has been impacted by heart disease. And for you, your mom.
Well, interestingly enough, I have a little bit of a different side of things. So my mom is a perfusionist, and so she worked in heart surgery for her whole career. And so she was the second certified perfusionist in the nation. So I grew up listening about heart health and heart surgeries and everything. So for me, she was actually on the forefront of American Heart Association when it was going door to door to get donations. Like, she would have envelopes stacked in our house. And so for me, this is a much longer situation, I guess you could call it. I don't want to call it a situation, but
You've watched it from the beginning.
I've watched it from the beginning, and I've watched her just be a huge advocate of doing all of these things for women and for overall heart health.
That's amazing.
Amazing. And when it comes to advocating, one thing you'll really want people to know is their numbers. Can you explain what are people's numbers that they need to look out for when it comes to heart health?
So the numbers that you need to know are your cholesterol, your blood pressure, your blood sugar, and your BMI. 80% of heart disease and strokes can be prevented. So if you take the time to know your numbers, this is your first act of defense.
Yeah, it's an exercise. It's something, it could be simple like that.
Yeah, so in addition to going to your doctor, there's also free screenings that are around the nation too for a lot of these things, especially during the year. The American Heart Association offers some of these screenings, but exercise is a really simple way. Just going outside 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes every day, walking, really simple. Like 25% of Americans are adequately exercising. So there's an additional 75% of us that may or may not be exercising enough.
Yeah.
So that's one opportunity that's really easy and that automatically lowers and reduce your risks for preventable heart conditions.
And cardiovascular disease in women, it doesn't discriminate based on age. We're finding studies that women starting at the age of 20, it's pretty common in.
Yes.
Yes. Actually, 45% of women over the age of 20 are predisposed to cardiovascular.
Wow, that's an alarming number.
It is.
Well, how can people maybe at home get more involved? How can they research some of the things we've talked about here today and maybe learn how to wear red themselves?
So one of the coolest things that you can do that is the greatest thing, because you don't really know how this is going to affect you, American Heart Association has trainings and you can learn to do CPR. So one of the things is that women are less likely to be helped if they have a heart attack out in public. And most heart attacks actually happen in public. 50% of them happen where there's nobody else. They don't happen in the hospital. So go teach yourself CPR to go help somebody that you don't know how. Also learn the signs. Women show heart disease and heart problems very differently in men. So the very typical things that happen in men show up very differently in women. Go to the doctor. Go to the doctor, go get your baselines, understand where you are from a risk assessment, and that way you know, and then encourage others to go do that too. And then we also have the luncheon. Come participate.
Oh, yeah, that's in May, right?
Yes.
Yep, May 19th.
Okay.
And you mentioned some of the things are different for women than they are for men. Can you just give a few of those symptoms that women need to look out for?
I think the most important thing is, the big thing is, as you think about what, I don't necessarily want to say what it's going to be like, but for men, you know how everybody's like, oh, it's this great pain. Sometimes women, it's heartburn. So and I don't want to make people really scared as they're watching this, but if you're thinking about what shows up as heartburn, like a consistent heartburn, if you're going to the doctor and you know your risk assessment, then when things like that show up that aren't quite normal for you, then you can go call somebody, go get help, and that you can start assessing whether this is actually what it is. And there are actually heart attacks that happen that are silent. You don't know they happen, and you can have a heart attack and not necessarily die from it, but it can cause damage to your heart.
Wow. Okay. Hey, thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing your stories and the information with us. We
Great
sure
great
appreciate
information.
it.
It's been awesome.
Thank you so much.